Hello, Warriors. Dale Pinker here with TradeGATEHub.com, sponsored and powered by TradeView Markets. I'd like to start off with the gold-silver ratio because I believe what happened is significant that can lead to silver's underperformance for a period of time, especially if we work back towards this 200-day moving average, back towards 85, could even head higher. You could do fib work. And if you believe in wedges, wedges can end up retracing 100%, although that's not my expectation. So when I left you on Wednesday, was talking about the short in silver, which this was Wednesday right here on this candle. It was about 24.30, 24.25. And we had this breakdown in silver. So you had about $1.40 made or so on the trade. If you didn't take it before the NFP, you have some issues with money management and also are not taking to heart what I say about partial profits and also what I say about being positioned for red events like the NFP. So that was then. This is now. As you can see, silver, unlike gold, is putting in a lower high. I actually put a sell out last night at the 2304 level. I booked partials. I don't think silver is going to make a new high. My target towards 2220 is still viable in my opinion, unless we take out the highs over 2460 and even gold now. So gold might not have peaked yet, but check out the difference in the RSI readings between the high that we had here, which was a phenomenal reading up around the 85 level, and what happened late last week and today, trading at the 73 level. So we definitely have a divergence taking place here in the gold, and I'd be pretty careful about being long the gold too. And for copperheads, I want you to check out this daily line that we have. That's going to be a very critical area. It looks like it's trying to break out here. So copper actually looking pretty good unless we fail from here. Here's your weekly, and we're about to negate this whole breakdown here on closes back over, let's call it 401, 402. Getting back to the currencies, last Wednesday I left you with talking about selling the pop in euro, which we had right here. It was Sunday, and then we had another pop in here. This was Wednesday again. You could see at the bottom of the screen, and I was looking for about 103.80. We only got down to a shade under 104, 104.80. So again, let me stress, if you didn't make money on this trade, you have to learn how to take partials, and the big recovery did not take place until after the NFP on Friday. So from both levels, you had profits. It's not a profit till you take it. Again, let me stress, and the silver and the euro example are important reasons for taking partials and not being positioned for red events. They call me coach for a reason. Learn from this. If you didn't take profits on either of those trades, they were both good trades. So when I look at the dollar, the euro's about to make new highs, hasn't yet. But when I look at the pound, especially on a daily, it's very possible that we still have another decline to come in the in cable from 22 and a half. This break was about, I was looking for about 1780 here, and we got down to 1840. So this was a 600 pip decline. And if we trade up towards 22 and a half, another 90 pips or so, and we get another equal decline to the downside, that would take you back down to 116 and a half. Want to talk a little bit about the yen because the yields broke sharply, and compared to the dollar, the yen is showing relative strength. There's a dollar about to make new lows or making new lows. US dollar yen still holding the low that we had earlier in the week. Possibility for longs here. Perhaps we put in some type of right shoulder above 131 and the advance begins again, especially once the dollar gains some footing after a bit more weakness. Want to address the S&Ps, which came out of this flat bottoming pattern. I had talked about that the potential for correcting this big decline from the false breakout. 39.5 comes to mind, and maybe 4,000 in the coming weeks. I still believe that this is a bear market rally, and we're going to have to close back over 40, looks like 40.20. This is the long-term trend line that the whole world is looking at, and you'll need closes back over 4,000 to generate a breakout on that. So maybe there's a couple of weeks of strength coming here. We do have a Powell speech tomorrow. Market's going up in his face. I think he's going to be hawkish tomorrow. Also, we are getting a little bit of a rally in WTI, but I want to address the 10-year first. So everyone pretty convinced now that yields are heading lower. And if you look at this, and this kind of looks like what the yen has done, 340 is really the line in the sand for a case of lower yields back under 3% to say 270. I still see the potential of this being a higher low above 340 and a move beginning back to the upside. And so I'm not as sanguine about yields until we take out 340. This is a higher low. So if this develops, you could see a rally in US dollar yen along with the 10-year yield beginning to rise again. I believe that's all I really want to handle today on Monday. And you know, you don't have to trade all these things. I'd say my highest conviction trade based on the gold silver ratio is still to look for a short in the silver sometime this week. Trade it, take partial profits like I did today, and maybe I'll get another opportunity. I kept a piece in case that's it. And if you're, it doesn't mean just because the gold silver ratio is heading up that you don't buy breaks in gold, but I think it's about time to get pretty patient with gold between here and 1900. Very possible, if I'm right about that break in silver to 22.5, that gold could trade back to 1800 as well as maybe even 1780, and that would include a US dollar yen rally along with yields beginning to head up again. So silver is my highest conviction trade going into the beginning of the week. I hope that everyone is benefiting from these videos. We are getting a lot more people checking in, and actually we have a guy named Joba Fish is his handle, who gave a real nice wave count last week in the S&Ps, who called the bottom here, looking for about 39.5, then 36, and then 43. So that demonstrates a reason for TradeGATEHub is the sharing of our best ideas with each other, because iron sharpens iron, and in the right situation, 1 + 1 can equal 11. And I want to leave it on one last thought. Everyone knows how I believe that the number 3 is a very powerful number, and that's why I look for 3 completions for reversals. You know, it permeates sports. 3 periods in hockey, a hat trick is 3 strikes, you're out, right? We're the 3rd planet from the sun. There are 3 elements in the universe, spiritually, 3 heads in the Godhead. And in the NFL, number 3 showed up after having a heart attack on the field. Everyone started wearing the number 3. And what manifested from that number 3 was brotherhood in the NFL and love. So 3 again, pay attention to that number. And I'll see you at least 3 times this week. Have a great day trading, and don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios.